Hi guys, welcome back to another daily tarot card. These are your daily tarot cards for Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. Today we are pulling from the Chakra Wisdom Tarot cards. So, a lot of repetitive cards during this week. The Hierophant, bringing the light of the situation. This is our sixth chakra. This is our third eye. So, I feel like Spirit is saying they're going to bring you the information. They're going to bring you the knowledge during this situation. Downloaded messages, and we've been getting a lot of that. We're in this potent time of February 2nd to February 22nd. So you may feel like, a lot of things are coming in that are really, crucial or important, and it's like exactly what they're talking about. We go over to the Princess of Coins. This is very reminiscent. I was trying to think of this with Tarot Talk, was yesterday's cards, and it was the Princess of something. Maybe it's the Princess of Pentacles, if I'm not mistaken. But I definitely get the same sense of starting things off later in life. She is not offering you this coin. This is her coin. So I feel like, again, this is highlighting a youth. This is all about our heart chakra with the green. So our children usually have our heart. So this could, as we move forward, you will see what I'm talking about. But I definitely feel like this is, again, going back to January 27th with Bran with the Page of Cups. So highlighting an intuitive child of ours. We have the Four of Swords, rest and rejuvenation. And I feel like it's like we're resting because we're about to come into this highly potent time. When we get into the definition, it's like what knowledge is bestowed upon us is that they're saying they don't realize that we have to build the bridge before we could cross it. So I definitely feel like, when we're going into the Nine of Wands, there is like this is an emotional situation. So I definitely have been talking about this for years, where we have to teach our youth as well as ourselves how to change that negative narrative. And it's hard. It's something we have to work at, especially if you've been, you know, taught certain things about yourself that are untrue, certain narratives that have been told to you, and you take it as truth because it does, most of the time come from family members, people that we love, people we're supposed to trust. This is why we make our own tribes. This is why we make our own family, because of those certain type of negative, toxic narratives, and they're destructive. So we have to put that negative fire out. This is very much shadow work. We have Temperance. I'm seeing the ethereal deck where it leads to the sun. They were saying go with the flow of water. So we're not fighting this. We kept on talking about those heels being dragged in the ground. I feel like we don't know where it's going, but it's like let the wheel turn. You know what I mean? It's the unknown. You know what I mean? We think so far ahead of the future that it gives us anxiety. And we can't allow for us to evolve to sit there and like pull back on certain situations. And I definitely feel like with Temperance keeps coming out, the Hierophant, the Four of Swords. It's like, and I definitely love what they said there. We have to build the bridge before we can cross it. And that's something, and I feel like they're saying here, building up your self-confidence, and I feel like, with the shadow work, I can't remember, is that numerology or I can't remember what deck it's from, but they said this is where you have to get the BB Tarot. Thank you. The BB Tarot, where they do the positive side and the reverse. And their reverse is all shadow energy. And it tells you what you need. They give you so many narratives for the shadow side. And some of the language they use sometimes is like when you deal with the shadow side, it's like you need a licensed therapist because we delve really deeply. I've taught my kids this, I've gone through this, especially with the loss of Shane. And it's like dealing with that shadow side, you know what I mean? And it's like that false narrative. And it's just, you realize how strong you are, how resilient you are. When you realize that narrative is false. We don't know where sometimes those seeds get planted in, you know what I mean? Or it's just, scare. It's our fear of this, whatever the negative side is. And we let it suffocate the life out of us. We let it suffocate us so much so it gives us fear, fear, worry, doubt, anxiety, depression. So this is where they're saying, this licensed therapist, this will build the bridge to Temperance, that you could go with the flow of water because now you understand the flow of water. When things are good, be appreciative that things are good. When things are rocky, say, you know what? I know that the light is coming back into my life. Even though I'm here right now, this too shall pass. Hardships don't last forever. By the grace of God, either you will have people surround you that will get you through this situation. And that's what I've been loving about these past couple of weeks, especially, this is going all the way back to January 27th. Talking about how you will have people around you that will surround you and protect you in this low energy. Not only, people that we have in our physical life, but your guardian angels. Because sometimes the biggest challenge you will ever have is to put yourself back together by yourself. You know what I mean? I always give credit to God. I don't ever feel like I'm by myself. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I always give credit and glory to God. Whatever it is, whatever the chapter is, going with the flow of water. And we began that for how many weeks now? Going with the flow of water. Even though we don't understand, we don't see the bigger picture, and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's a reason for it. I went through a season and I was just like, I know they're moving this person out because something else is coming in. There's a reason for this. You know what I mean? So there's lessons in here. And one thing I always learn is, like, even though when I don't understand, what is Hierophant all about? 5, change and transformation. Even though we don't understand it, it's like, why fight it? It's just like, kind of void of course. Just do what you usually do every day and let it flow. That's all you can do. So we start off with the Hierophant. Major change and transformation. This is spiritual knowledge. The power of meeting a spiritual mentor. So knockings of yesterday's cards with the wild unknown. Creates synchronicities and opens the path to walk alongside them and learn until you no longer need to. When it is your time to become your own intuitive guide, you will know. And I feel like this is what's happening with our youth. They're becoming their own intuitive guide. Intuition, clairaudience, spirituality, guidance, ritual, knowledge, counselor. So this is Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion. Returning from the world of mysticism, the Fool will encounter the lovers. Is it a dream, reality, or a dream she will create? So we go on to our right side with the Princess of Coins. Practical solutions. The Princess of Mystical Coins bring realism to your dreams. Open your heart to wealth. Being practical. Ideas. Exploration. Determination. Determination is a word that has been coming out quite a bit today. If you go to most platforms that I am on, that you will see the Viking runes, and determination was one of the words that came out. If you have arrived, then you have what you desire already exists. Will you allow it into your heart? Sometimes it's hard for us to accept that reality, We definitely went through something where we had put something on our vision board, as a family, and it's just like I remember putting on the first year, and the funny thing is it looks exactly like that, to a point. And then we put it again on this year, and literally it just happened. So it's just like, and, I've been doing, oh gosh, I think I started that in I would have to go back to the board. I think 2018 was my first year with a vision board, or 2019. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to go back. I know there's a couple on there. It's more than a couple. There's a few on there. But it's like, you even hear Steve Harvey. He's like, he's not into like tarot and all that, but he's like, he watches his words. You know what I mean? He's just like, even with myself, I can't afford it right now because I'm being responsible. But in the future, I will be able to afford it. And it's just at this present moment, there's more pressing things that money is assigned to, or, you're just waiting, with us. Spirit has talked about this. They told us to make a budget for the winter. So it's like we made a budget for the winter, snow removal, heating, X, Y, and Z. Groceries has exponentially gone up, So it's just like, that's where we're putting that extra money towards. We're being responsible. So it's like at this moment, that money is earmarked for things. You know what I mean? But it won't always be earmarked for those things because like any season, this too shall pass. You know what I mean? So it's just, watching our words, and I've been more mindful of my words for a while now. So solidarity, preparation we get with our 4 of Swords. This is why he's in this rest. He rests now, as the unseen manifesting bridge must be built before he can cross it. He has traveled faster than and anticipated, as the planning and thinking is now complete. He must pause to decide if he is on the right path of his true heart's desire. And I feel like as a youth, definitely talking about, our psychic children, our healers, and it's just like, not stopping them. They were talking about Tyler Henry, how his mother could have sat there and been like, oh, made a big deal out of nothing. And look at him. He talks about it all the time. He used to read for her friends, and X, Y, and Z. And now, he look at him. He's reaching for the stars. He's having his dreams come true. You know what I mean? So it's just like, let your children evolve the way that they're going to evolve, and don't stand in their way. As long as they're not hurting anyone. You know what I mean? Meditation, contemplation, rest, retreat, recovery. Definitely when things are changing where we want to retreat, we're like, where is it safe? At least where it's safe, I know what's going on. And it's like, we don't want to live in safety, because it's just like, yeah, it's great to know what's going on, but we go through those flows where it's like void of course, and everything is like, the same as the day before, which is nothing wrong with that. Be grateful for that. Trust me. But I feel like they're saying, like, we can retreat in the sense of sleeping. We can retreat in the way of recovering our energy, but not retreat in a way that we fight against the flow of water. And I feel like that's why temperance is there. Are you ready to connect with your spirit guides? Get ready to be rejuvenated. And maybe this is where, if we're going to the Nine of Wands now, I felt like was an emotional situation when I was reading from Instagram. I was like, ooh, Nine of Wands. I always feel like that's an emotional situation, and they're saying, like, listen to this definition: igniting inner fire. And I feel like that's what's happening here in this rest and rejuvenation period, and I feel like this is where, Lisa Rana has articulated so beautiful. She goes, when it comes to your children, you don't sit there and not act. She's like, you don't F around when it comes to your children. It's like, they say something's going on, you react. You don't, and they even say that online. You do not sit there and wait for them to grow out of it. You react, you do everything you can. You, like they say, like we say prayer circle. It's from the Groots. They say kill circle. We call it our prayer circle. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like that same kind of mode. Instead of being a prayer circle, it's a protective circle. We put you in the middle, and this is how any tribe should be. Family should be this, but not always is. We put you in the middle while you're going through this, whatever this is. We'll help you and see you, and we will not let anyone penetrate this circle, because, we know that right now you're in a rest and rejuvenation. You're going through a transformation. Number 5, change and transformation. So you're getting your rest right now. You're getting rejuvenation right now. You're connecting with your spirit guides. So when they're talking about this youth, and they were doing that yesterday, and I said, I don't feel necessarily it has to be feminine energy. Well, it could be feminine energy, but it doesn't have to be female as they're labeling it. This is, you could put non-binary they. Someone is going through something here, because it keeps coming out. But they always show a positive ending to this. There's like, this is just something that's going on right now, but you will see the other side of things. The wand she holds is on fire, indicating that she is still not yet beyond the problems that she is recovering from. Rest and rejuvenation, recovering from. While she may soon be ready to move forward, it may not be until she puts out the emotional fires that plague her. And I feel like this is where they were saying with that shadow energy, and I kid you not, when we move forward from temperance, they go to the devil card as the next card. And I swear to you, the devil is a dark shadow. And this is why I was like, I feel like this is shadow energy. Going back to the wild unknown, I said, I feel like this is new moon energy, shadow energy. And going back to BB Tarot, where they say, this is where you need a therapist to interject here. If this is so deep, that it deeply ingrained, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's why they're saying, they thought this would take a little while longer to get to, is because they could have went through an event in life that has made them grow up so quickly that they go through this emotional angst at this moment. You know what I mean? But that does not define them for the rest of their life. And that's the thing. Let's get them everything they need. Let's put them in the middle and protect them. Let them get the rest and rejuvenation so they can evolve and come out and be temperance, going with the flow of water. Recovery, stamina, patterns. Are you willing to stop burning yourself out? There is a lady on TikTok, and I feel like she's brave. I'm like, she's saying what all healers are saying in their mind. She went on there and she was upset. She exploded, like a lot of healers do, on TikTok. It's an amazing platform. Me, myself, I never wanted to go on there. I thought it was a kid's platform. My niece actually encouraged me to do it. Um, and I'm very thankful because I've connected with a lot of cool things on there, and evolved so many skills from it. Um, but she went on there and she was upset because she was getting a lot of readings, but she's a mother. She's got, I don't know what else she had going on. I don't think she got into the particulars, but she was upset that she was getting booking a lot of readings, but she's like, I can only do, 1 to 2 readings a day. Anyone that has a family and you're a healer understands. But she was just like, and people were asking for refunds, and it really got to her. And I was like, girl, I understand. You know what I mean? But it's just like, give them back their money and be done with it. And she gave them back their money. But she was upset because she was just like, I understand where she's coming from, because it's like, yes, this is the turning point of it, and this is the coming up, you know what I mean? But I feel like it really humbled her in that moment. It's just like, she's gonna build that customer base. Like, I'm so fortunate to my soul tribe, where it's just like, they know they can come to me no matter what's going on. And if it's like, if I've got something going on or if I'm in a reading, I just tell them. I just quickly pop over and I'm like, listen, I'm in a reading. I'll get back to you when I'm done, But I could see the hurt. You could see the hurt in her face. She's just like, I can only do 1, maybe 2 readings a day, and she was explaining her situation, but she was hurt, and my heart went out to her. But I feel like it's just like, unfortunately, some people don't see that. You know what I mean? It's just like, you book for a certain day and they want it quicker, and sometimes you can't deliver on the timeline they want. That's why those LinkedIn and not LinkedIn, excuse me, Linktree and all them are good for that, where it's just like you can see the calendar of what's available. You know what I mean? But, some people, and that's fine, they don't want to wait until the time, and it's just like, what can you do? You just refund them and wish them well. Hopefully they can find someone that could, be more of service in a quicker time frame, but I understand where she's coming from, but that's the times that it's a learning situation. You know what I mean? And it shows them who you truly are. I guarantee those people will probably come back to her. So, Temperance, the Fool as an angel. And I feel like this is where we connect with the higher self. Temperance, going back, they're showing me the Dragon's Tarot, where there's a dragon above the angel's head. Or this, I believe she has wings. That's why I say angel. But it's learning that we're, when they say connecting with our guides, maybe they're highlighting the clairaudience earlier, but this could be clairvoyance, clairaudience, channel messages. And it's a lot to take in at first, because you're like, what is going on? Because we're always taught like, oh, you're crazy or anything. No, you're not. This is why you got to sometimes keep things to yourself, because people will call you things. But trust me, as they see you getting bigger and bigger, watch how much oh, I need one right now. It's like, excuse you? Like, I'm busy. Oh, well, I need it right now. I don't care who you're. Nope, that doesn't matter. I come first. It's like, Anyway. So, knowing that your goals are allowing the right things to flow from unexpected sources. The power is massive. Will it go to your head, or will you share? So that is something that has been coming out all week. Something is coming in and they're saying, will you share? They're telling us to share with our charitable endeavors. We were talking about maybe Monday's cards, or Tuesdays, I'm not sure. We were talking about bartering, that I read for some of people that I've known for a long time, and they do certain things, and I'm just like, hey, no worries. Like, don't give me anything for it. I love your products. When I need stuff, I'll come to you and I'll let you know what I need. And they always send extra goodies. That's what I love about them. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, working on that playing field where, you know what I mean? We all respect each other and what we do. You know what I mean? But it's just like, what a great way to do things. Toronto, I don't know if they still do it, because I moved from Toronto almost 5 years ago, but Buns, excellent system where it's just like, you don't have any use for something. Who needs this? What are you looking for? Oh, you could trade for food, avocados they're showing. They showed that when I was doing it. So you know what I mean? And that's what I loved about this, especially someone particular where products of hers that I use. And I'm just like, Anytime you need a reading, let me know. And I'm happy to do it for you. And, I'll sit there and I'll, whenever I need something from her, I let her know. And she always throws extra goodies in. Like, she's so good to me. So this is representative of the sun. So progression. Feelings may play a deeper role in influencing the fool's decision that one would have thought. And the next card, the devil. We clearly see where her feelings are taking her. I kid you not, this week, I didn't want to make the cards too long, and I'm trying to make the video shorter, but they had the devil in reverse. So, again, the last couple cards that we get and whatever's going on, it seems like the first two cards is like the energy, what's going on. And then it's like the middle cards and then the bottom cards are usually our answer, that's been going on here. But look at the devil. He's literally black. We think about our shadow energy, that dark energy, and what was it, the wild unknown for Tuesday's cards. And I was like, I wonder if this is shadow energy. And when I heard, this is where a therapist comes in handy, I'm like, okay, that's from DB Tarot. And I'm like, all right, this is where, a deeper level of healing is going on. Maybe they've been suppressing it for so long. Maybe they're coming of age, where they're talking about where, I don't know how they articulate. I think it was with the Four of Swords where they're saying, they didn't think it would happen this early. You know what I mean? It's because I feel like this is where it's coming of age, or maybe they had the set out for what I'm seeing, like a teenager, like 1920. This was supposed to happen, but for some reason it's coming out now. You know what I mean? So it's just like, let it evolve. As long as they're open to it, don't push it. Let them, if they're being drawn to the arts, let them go on their own. Just like spirituality, if they're pulled to something, let them make it their own thing. It isn't about you. And that's the biggest thing Spirit told us. Remember, we were talking about that earlier a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week. It is not about us as parents. It's about that person, that your child, how they evolve and how they see it. And this is how we raised them, to be an individual, to speak up for themselves. Stranger danger. If anyone does anything, you come to me immediately and we'll deal with it. Right? So now that they're going through this stage, possibly, let them evolve the way they want to evolve and watch them grow. Let them flourish. Let them fly. Let them gain their wings. Whatever this is. Not in that sense, but in the sense of, beyond the realm, beyond the earth of material, world. Let them, as long as they're not hurting themselves or anyone else, let them soar. Definitely when we were talking about the Fool and they were showing the Gosling, and the Gosling's getting ready to fly, and it's like that spontaneity, let them do it. It may stay with them. They may come into it. They may come out of it. Back and forth. They were showing Tyler Henry. I don't know what his evolution is. I don't know if he ever, wrote that in one of his books. How he came to, like, an actual, for the first couple of years, this is what I did. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was that candid, but it's just like, let them evolve. Let them fly and flourish. Be there. Be that, protect them while they're going through this rest and rejuvenation time. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card. Bye.